pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to the Bryan Board of Public Affairs Board meeting for July 7th, 2015. First thing on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the following meetings. June 16th, 2015 regular meeting and June 30th, 2015 special meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review those?
See no changes, I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Okay, number 2 then, a hearing of public concerns. Seeing none, we'll move on. Number 3, a presentation of American Municipal Power's Richard H. Gorsuch Scholarship to Courtney Rodeo.
Okay, Mr. Harry Phillips, American Municipal Power Director of Marketing and Member Relations, will be doing the presentation. I wanted to cover a couple things before he gave us the Richard H. And I'm probably going to take some of his thunder away because I had some notes already lined up, so I apologize. So the Richard H. Gorsuch Scholarship is one of 4 awarded by American Municipal Power, or AMP. The scholarship was established in memory of Richard H. Gorsuch's AMP's president from 1983 to his death in 1987. It's quite a process to go through even to get your name to the AMP level, and by that I mean all the students that are members, their parents work for the utility, have the ability to apply for this scholarship. And part of that scholarship application with us, we have a review committee that asks them to do an energy audit of their home and then make recommendations in an essay. We also look at their complete overall GPA, their community involvement, and we look at the merit for them to be able to compete at the next level. And with that, I mean, are they really serious about wanting a scholarship? Because once they get past us and they get into the AMP pool, you're into more of a diverse group, and there's a little more work involved. I mean, there's some testing involved. I mean, AMP's process to evaluate these candidates is the use of a power test, where you're actually going through and being tested on your knowledge of the industry. They also, their scholastic record, and again, their personal achievements. So there's a lot more after you get past us. And we have to make sure that those candidates that we would select are ready for that next step, because it's a grind just to get the dollars. It's a grind. I do want to point out, I did get to, after it was announced at the AMP board meeting, I did get to look at some of Courtney's numbers, and she came in, she was one of the highest. She was pretty amazing with her scoring. I was pretty excited. So I will turn this to Harry. I'm sure I took some of his thunder, but I apologize.
In conclusion. No, that's fine, and that's a very, very good depiction of what took place. I'll just add just a few brief things to this. And that there was 21. So Bryan had mentioned, sort of the diverse group of all of these. So this was open to all of the member AMP communities. So there's 132 of them in the United States. So there were 21 nominated for this award. So Courtney being here tonight, as Bryan said, was quite an ordeal, and very deserving too, by the way, because as Bryan also said, her scores were incredible. So the other things I would add to this is that to date, since 1988, AMP has awarded over $272,000 in scholarships, and each one of these is $2,000. So that goes a long way, in a young graduate's future here, or future in college too. So what I'll do is that as Courtney's resume here was much too much to memorize, so you'll have to indulge me here a few moments to read this. Courtney is daughter of Laura and Jeff Rodeo, and she's a graduate of Bryan High School. And these are just some of her accomplishments, and it's quite lengthy. Courtney graduated with an honors diploma in recognition in French, English, math, science, and history. She was ranked first in her graduating class, is a member of the National Honor Society, and was recognized all 4 years as a scholar athlete. Courtney participated in cheerleading, swimming, orchestra, student council, family career, and Community Leaders of America, and many community volunteer efforts. In swimming, she was a 4-time district and state qualifier, as well as a second-team All-American athlete. So we find Courtney to be very talented and have a promising future, and on behalf of the AMP Board of Trustees, I'd like to present her with a $2,000 check. Congratulations. I believe she has a speech prepared, too.
Excellent.
I just want to thank everyone and let you all know that I really appreciate this and the opportunity it provides me. So, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Did you pick a good college, too?
Yes, thank you.
You're going to the Ohio State University?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to throw it out there. That was in my notes.
Okay, number 4, a resolution to recognize change order number 1 for the 2015 water main and sanitary sewer extension on Brunicardi Way project.
Okay, this would be resolution number 22, 2015, a resolution recognizing change order number 1 for the project known as 2015 water main and sanitary sewer extension on Brunicardi Way from the North Main Street to the city limits. So this resolution actually will take care of the original resolution passed by BPA reflected an overall contract price of $346,933. Of which $173,836 was the water department's line extension. The city needed to install 2 additional sanitary sewer extensions at a cost of roughly $6,800, which then increased the overall contract price to $353,733. As a way to clean up our paperwork and follow suit, we need to reflect that change as well. It doesn't change our portion of the contract, but it does change the overall scope and cost of the contract. So that's what is in front of you folks.
Any questions or comments?
So moved.
Second.
Al?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim?
Yeah.
Deb?
Yes.
Number 5 then is a resolution to authorize the mayor to grant an easement for underground conduit to the Jewell Grain Co.
Okay, this would be resolution number 23, 2015, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to grant the easement for underground conduit to the Jewell Grain Company to connect underground conduit for communication purposes. So several months back, and it's been several months, we've been working with Jewell Grain on this quite a bit, and I want to mention I got Mr. Brent Peterson here, who's the general manager of Jewell Grain. So if there's questions that we need to bounce at him that are on top of what I'm going to give you, we can do it. So Jewell Grain is installing some new scales, and their properties, and I say properties in plural, run parallel with the Marcus corridor that we own. Okay, and it makes sense where they need to put their scales is on, let's call it the one side of the property, and to get communications to the other side, they would have had to install something overhead or underground. Well, during the process of Nate Gardner working with Jewell Grain, it made sense for them to put some kind of underground conduit in for the communications to the scales as well as the sampling. Are you still doing the sampling too, the pull grain for sampling? So in essence, the wagons will come into the scale, all that will be done on one side, it will go underground, almost like what you have at the bank, I would surmise, right up into their control house. I know, as I stated, to be good neighbors, we want to work with them, and they want to work with us, and it's been a good relationship for a lot of years. I believe we had an easement with them on some other areas, but this is a completely different area because Mr. Horn brought that up to me.
Yes, because I remember rounding up when we were down there. The lines went through and we agreed to do something.
I'll let you know that the terms and conditions of the easement have went back and forth through Rhonda and Nate Gardner, and I'll be honest, for about a 3-month period until we finally hammer this out, and you can ask.
Started when it was cold and snowing.
And we were not trying to be difficult, but we wanted to make sure they received what they needed, but we retained the same rights that we needed to retain on our property. And I think we came to a really good compromise, and I know Rhonda was okay with it after this final. So with that, if you have questions, go ahead and direct them toward me or Mr. Peterson. If not, we put a lot of work in this, I would make that recommendation.
So this won't have any effect on access to our facilities?
Nope. And I want to throw out there, if we've had access issues, Jewell Grain has been wonderful and moved equipment for us and helped us get in. And in fact, where they sit at, they have stoned and they maintain that. So that's probably one of the nicer areas of the corridor. So, I mean, they do a very good job.
Well, since we went along before with them, I agree we should do something, so I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Before you vote, Madam Chairman, I noticed from the clerk that this is actually Resolution 24. So we'll
Did I
need
mess
to
up?
correct, I believe, the previous.
Oh, the previous one I messed then as well.
Yes. Okay, we remember 23 to 24.
22? Yeah. I did open that page up front. So, I need to go back if I can. See if we can change that. I think we'll have to repass.
If you just, since you have corrected this one before voting on it, just go ahead now,
Reread.
identifying it as number 24, and then when you're done with that, just make a motion to correct the previous resolution.
Okay, so let me reread this resolution. So it's Resolution 24, 2015, so that way we're all clear. This would be the resolution then authorizing and directing the mayor to grant the easement for underground conduit to the Jewell Grain Co. to connect the underground conduit for commercial purposes. And again, this is Resolution 24, for communication purposes. And again, this is Resolution 24, not 23. Okay?
Motion?
Okay.
Second. Well, you want to keep it the same?
Yeah,
Let's just
we'll do
keep
the
it.
same.
Okay.
Al,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
And before we go on, I need to ask you guys to correct for me the prior agenda item 4, which we passed as resolution 22. We need to note that should be 23.
I'll make a motion to change that.
Second.
Jim,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Al.
My apologies and thank you. Minus all the motions and drama I had there, you're good. Thank you.
Okay, number 6 then is...
Excuse me, Bonnie. What do we need to do with this?
I need to change the top to 23.
That's all.
Yeah,
Let me do it.
I'm okay with it, yes, as long as we get it recorded properly.
Number 6, the request to put David Herman on regular employment status.
Okay, this would be for David Herman. So Dave has proven to be an asset to the water department. Dave actually came in, had a lot of operator's experience, but no water license. And in the last year or so, Dave has completed his Ohio EPA 1 operator's license. First time try, hit it out of the park. He's studying and preparing for his Ohio EPA 2 license. He has proven himself on all the equipment. I mean, he just really adapted. Hard worker, part of the team. I mean, that whole group really gels. He was the right fit. So I would recommend that we move him to regular employment status.
Questions, comments?
He's doing a great job. I've been kind of keeping an eye on him, see how he's doing. Perfect fit, so. I'll make a motion, we accept.
Second.
Dick,
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Okay, number 7 then is to accept the resignation of Scott Buehrer.
Okay, this would be a motion to accept the resignation of Scott Buehrer. Scott has accepted a position with another employer and provided his formal resignation to begin July 10th, so this Friday of 2015. Hopefully, if anybody had questions, I sort of wanted you guys to call Scott and ask him. Sat down with John Eggs at interviews. Scott's very happy with his career that he had here with us, and just ready for some changes and some new adventure, I guess. We appreciate everything Scott's done for us and his professionalism and all the tasks that he's taken on. Wishing him the well in the future. Whoever ends up with him will have a phenomenal IT guy. So,
Hate to lose him.
Yeah, I
Really
really
do.
do.
I like it. Well, regrets. I make a motion.
With regrets, I second.
Al,
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Number 8, to post an IT technician help desk support position.
Okay, with Scott leaving us as of this Friday, we would respectfully request to get this position posted immediately. We're going to have our hands full trying to find that person to fill those shoes. They're rather big shoes. And we need that time beginning now to let you guys know. Joe has worked with some of our other providers to give us some block hours to take care of some of those things that Scott did for us. So if we run into a problem, we have somebody to help us out. Ken is there for us, but this is bigger than that. I mean, this is another position, so if we could, I would respectfully request that you allow us to post for that right away.
Absolutely.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Number 9 then is a request to send line workers to the 2nd Annual AMP Lineworkers Rodeo.
Okay, and the reason why we put this on the agenda, this is, I looked at this as a little different than the education travel request that we would typically do. Because the board last year took it upon themselves to openly say, you know what, we want to send some guys or some of those crew members down and give it a shot. So last year's rodeo team placed second at their first event ever. And these guys trained all summer. I was pretty impressed. I mean, they took it serious. This year's team is very excited and ready to compete. They have the goal, they want that first place trophy. Part of the reason why they want that first place trophy, they want to bring that back home, but the winning team at the AMP rodeo, AMP affords them the ability, the opportunity to go to the national rodeo on AMP's dime. So these guys want to be able to push those buttons and say, you know what, board, we did this, we want to go to that next level and challenge ourselves. So what I've noticed, that there's a greater sense of camaraderie and pride in the department. It's amazing that this is taking shape. They're already talking about practice time and the weather and these other things, so I'm excited for them. The overall experience for everyone has been positive. It's just it's really refreshing to see these guys and these members taking pride in what they do for themselves and the community. So I would respectfully ask, this to be recognized as a motion to send that team down to compete and see what happens. There is enough money in the travel budget to take care of this too. We sort of budgeted for it, hoping that they would still be interested in it and that the board was still okay with them competing.
Interesting. Watch them back here when they did that show here. That was very interesting. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I came out and watched them practice last year, and I actually signed up to be a volunteer down at the rodeo this year, so. I'll
Make a
entertain a
motion. I do.
Second.
Al?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Whereabouts is that location in Columbus?
This is at the AMP headquarters on Chirac Road. They have, right down the road, they constructed there's probably 35, 40 poles, and they hold their line worker training there during the summer. And then at this time of year, they will do the Lineman's Rodeo. And then the hotel, which is where we stay at for AMP board meetings, is right down the road, and they have a full-fledged banquet for those that are participating and whatnot. Typically, overall, whoever wins the AMP one does fairly well out to the national one. This year was a little different. There were a lot of larger municipal teams, like your SMUDs, your Sacramento Utility District, because that's where the conference was at. I think they had probably 15 or 20 teams. But again, they're 250 to 300,000 customers. They run 200 line workers, 250 line workers, so they have the ability to do that. We don't. So we take what we have, the best of what we have, and we work hard and see where we can get ourselves.
Did you mention where the national event will be held?
This next year's national event will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Beautiful place. It's in the spring of the year, and we all know what Minnesota weather is in the spring, so it can be really cold.
Take your snowshoes.
So those northern linemen that we have, line workers, could do really well because they're used to that weather. So thank you though for asking. That was a good point.
Hey, Al, give an incentive, tell them if they don't get number one, they gotta pay it back.
Make that a motion.
No, Al.
Well, why you shouldn't give them a bonus if they make it too?
Okay, it's time to pay the bills.
Mary's honor, I say pay the bills.
Second.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Number 11 then is comments from BPA and staff. Director?
Okay, what I need from the board is council met and they agreed to the July 20th at 4:30 at the council chamber for a joint meeting. So what I would ask from the board is a motion passed that recognizes that so that it's duly recorded. And I believe the mayor has done so as well with council. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did last night.
And then you will be afforded an agenda probably later next week.
Yeah, or that night, there's a couple things here in a minute. It's gonna be on, so.
So July 20th, which is a Monday evening at 4:30.
Correct, that's
at
what
council
we
chambers.
agreed on before.
Yep, and we
Okay.
will still have our board meeting on the 21st
Okay.
to cover all the issues that we need to cover here. This is a
Okay.
joint meeting with them to cover a group set of issues we're dealing with. Okay. So,
I'll make a motion, we need to have a joint session between the City Council and the Board of Public Affairs, 4:30 on July 20th.
At the city building.
at municipal court, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Or-
I'll second.
Karen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Okay, and also with all the rain that we've had, the deluge we've had the last month, Matt's crew's got the flashboards back up today, I believe. And then Lou also has been working hard to get somebody in to harvest the crop off the solar field, and that is complete. It hasn't been an easy process. Nobody in the area has had an easy process harvesting, hay or anything, so. Other than that, what's that, Lou? Or, no, excuse me, I said wheat, I apologize. Max, don't put wheat, it's alfalfa, whole different topic there. Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, the night of our joint meeting, the BPA committee has worked very hard, 6, 7 meetings to set up the rules and regulations for the new park. So we want to present those to you that night. I think there's 9 or 10, Bonnie was on that committee, and Bryan, 9 or 10 things
9.
there. Then we will go into executive session, discuss compensation of personnel. We have our insurance rates for next year, which we'll be pleased with, and then we'll come out of executive session and vote on the insurance rates for the upcoming year. So that's the extent of the meeting that night. So we also set Halloween for October 31st. Finally on the
Really?
finally on the
Finally.
night,
Oh,
but it
that's
is a
great.
Saturday for the usual 6 to 7:30 trick or treat. So council set that. Usually the day after Easter, they call, when is Halloween? When is Halloween? So those are the things we had.
Terrific. Rhonda? Laura?
Come in.
Anyone? Al?
I have nothing.
Dick?
Congratulations to Laura and Courtney. Quite an honor.
She's
You're
very
not proud
excited.
though, are you?
Just a little bit. She's very excited.
Congratulations.
Good article in the Bryan Times and picture of Al and the new meters. That was very good information, well presented. Did you have any feedback?
Alec, is Allison here? You want to address that?
I had some feedback. The person called you and appreciated how you talked to her. And, because she said it's going to cost a few bucks. I'll tell you later on who it is. But he did a nice job talking to her. She was very complimentary. She realized they got to do something, and it's a vote her home.
Been probably taking 40 calls. All pretty positive. I mean, there was a few negatives about it. We talked it over and what we expect. Yeah. I think it's pretty positive.
We've actually had some phone calls based on the article in the paper and the letter, where consumers have called Al and said, you should inspect mine outside. We didn't get the letter, but we want to make sure that it's safe. So it's been positive. A lot of work coming our way, as in for homeowners and ourselves to keep up on everything, but it's been positive, really has.
Okay, that'll be it. Jim?
I just want to congratulate your daughter too. You deserve to be proud. It's quite an accomplishment. I understand you've got another one just like her.
I do, I happen to have another one that's pretty similar. Proud of them both.
Good. Well, congratulations, Laura and Courtney, and I also wanted to say I'm really excited to see that Rhonda is going to be going to one of the AMP legal trainings.
It's been a few years since I've attended.
Yeah, that'll be good to get the
Get
latest
to speed.
information there. Okay. And then we'll take a motion to go into executive session to discuss the compensation of a public employee.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Jim?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Al?
We'll take a short break before we do. There will be no action.